Welcome to Perfect 12 podcast, where we talk about relationship issues. I'm Simona Fusco, your host. I own Perfect 12 Introductions, which is referred to as the leading elite matchmaker in the country. And I'm here with my co-host, Mark, who will give us the male perspective on sugar daddy dating. Mark, have you been a sugar daddy?
I've never been a sugar daddy, but I know a lot of them, and they're happy in the short term, but they're not happy in the long term. But that's my early perspective, and we can dive way more into that if you like.
So why are they not happy in the long term?
Because initially, the girls that they're supporting are happy with, dinners and other things like that. But as the relationship goes along, because it's not based on love, right? It's just based on transactions, that they're demanding more and more and more over time. And so what might have been a $5,000 a month sugar daddy situation ends up being a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 sugar daddy a month type of situation. So they're not happy with that because they're not getting more sex out of the situation, not getting more time with her. It's just costing them more money. It's like the worst kind of arrangement ever.
Yeah. But doesn't that happen with really every relationship, whether it's sugar daddy or not?
I don't know what relationships you've been in, but
I mean, I think
it shouldn't get more expensive. You guys should be investing for your long-term futures is the way I look at it, not spending. But hey, maybe you've been in different relationships than I have.
I don't know. I guess I always go back to my clients and the lifestyle they lead. They live very large lifestyles, and they will start off more conservative, and then as they trust the person, then they will be more generous.
Until bankruptcy.
Not with my clients. I think there is no bottom, but yeah, some people
No bottom.
certainly with some people, yes. But
But are these sugar daddy relationships, or are they just regular relationships that you're talking about with your clients? You're not doing sugar daddy stuff, right?
No, I mean, you can't really look inside a person. If a person is asking for a certain age gap.
But she's not coming to you and saying, on the female side of the equation, hey, I need somebody who's going to support me for $10,000 a month.
Oh, I get a ton of women that come to me that tell me, I'm just looking for a rich man.
Well, that's normal. But I'm talking about there's not a number. It's
there's a number. I want $20,000 a month. I want $30,000 a month. He has to have a yacht. He has to have a private jet. He has to have a house in Aspen. He has to have a house, in Paris.
And do you look at these women like they're crazy? Or you're like, okay, let me take her on and see what I could do?
I think it depends. I mean, look, if she's a gorgeous supermodel, let me tell you something. They get that.
I get that.
They get that all the
but
time.
They're not getting love.
Yeah, but
they're getting an arrangement.
That's right. That's why we were talking about. That's why it's a sugar daddy relationship.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something rubs me wrong about that whole thing. I don't know what it is.
It'd
be like me coming to you and saying, "Hey, I just want a new supermodel every single week. I don't want a relationship. Just give me a new supermodel every single week. No questions asked." Would that rub you the wrong way, or you'd be like, "Okay, I'll do that"?
I mean, look, of course, that's terrible, if somebody comes straight out
to me,
like
they're
that.
equal.
But I like the honesty, and I have clients that do say that. And
but don't you think those are equals? Like one's demanding money,
100%.
one's demanding,
yeah,
a new supermodel every single week. It just seems to me that both those situations are nefarious.
But why is it another supermodel every single week? I think
because maybe you just get tired of them.
I think it's an equal exchange if you go in with honesty. If you go into the relationship with honesty. The problem is a lot of people lie about their, motives, why they are in the relationship, right? And that's when the problems start. But I think if you go in with honesty and the girl says, look, I'm looking for an arrangement. I want $20,000 a month, and he goes in with, okay, well, I want to hang out with you once or twice a week because that's how it is. I mean, it's pretty specific. Then at least you're both going in it with open eyes.
Yeah, I mean, if they're both open to it. I just think... I don't think one of the parties has to break eventually. I just can't see this as something that's sustainable. And maybe they don't want it to be sustainable.
For sure. I think that's why a lot of young girls do it because, look, they need their college tuition paid. They don't come from, I've seen this a lot. They go on websites like Seeking Arrangement, sugardaddy.com because they want a nose job and their parents isn't paying for it, or they want a boob job. So, the parents are saying, no, hell no, I'm not going to pay for that. So they're like, okay, you won't pay for it? Okay, I'll go on sugardaddy.com. He'll pay for it. I mean, this happens all the time. I've seen it in my daughter's
Yeah.
school. I mean, you know, she would come home and tell me about these things, and she'd be like, "Mom, I want a nose job." I'm like, "No, and you're not going on sugardaddy.com either." But, you know, I mean, this is so common, you know, with younger women and also young men, by the way. They look for a sugar mama.
Really?
It's not just sugar daddy.
And they're getting it.
Oh, yes, of course, because, you know, this is an exchange of sex, you know,
Right.
like,
But is this just an advanced form of prostitution?
I mean, that's, I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's prostitution per se, because, you know, you're having an arrangement. It's not
But
like they're getting paid
prostitution's
for
an
per
arrangement.
sex.
Well, that's what ends up happening. Let's be honest. Somebody's not going to sit there and cuddle for $10,000 a month. I don't see that happening.
I guess, I mean, yeah, I think
You're
prostitution.
struggling with this.
I think prostitution is more like, okay, you go to an escort service, you have a one night, you know, whatever, $1,000 and see you later. I think sugar daddy is more like you have a long term
So
relationship.
it's an escrow service on subscription then. Because that's
I like that. Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if both parties are consenting, I don't really have a problem with it. I just don't think as a society we should be pushing this.
100%.
And for
no.
why are younger people thinking, if I want a boob job or I want a nose job or I want my college tuition paid for, I just have to get a sucker, basically, to pay for it. Why isn't she thinking, let me start a business, let me get a better job, let me do something that's going to
100%.
contribute to society.
But that's going to take longer. All right. So they want this
But
instantly.
Right, but what society are we in where that's the mentality of the day? Now, you're talking LA mostly. I'm sure it's in Miami and other
Oh,
places.
gosh.
But let's hope that's not the norm and we're trending that direction. But I feel like we are in some respects.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, with social media and Hollywood, you know, you're talking about it's just in big cities, but even like middle America, what are they looking at? They're looking at social media, they're looking at influencers, they're looking at Hollywood, and they see the big lips and the big boobs. And, you know, I mean, yeah, of course they're going to be like, oh, this is what I should look like, and then I'll get attention, and then I'll have my dreams come true. This is, you know, this is what's going to get me to where I want to be, where the air is rarefied, and I got to do this. How do I get there? What are you going to do in a little town, you know? What are you going to go work at what? McDonald's to get? You're not going to get there.
I don't know. I just
So
find
I
this whole
think-
trend to be disturbing. If you look at OnlyFans and you look at the statistics, between 18 and 25, 3% of women are on OnlyFans. Are you kidding me? Where are we going with this? What's it going to end up being?
It's even more on sugardaddy.com and seeking arrangement.
Wow. But is sugardaddy.com and seeking arrangements only about pay for sex?
Well, it's to pay for an arrangement, right? So like a monthly
thing.
allowance where,
Same thing. What are they paying for? They're not paying to come.
yeah, I mean, basically, yeah.
Yeah. It's on subscription. And I don't know how these things work. You're in the industry. But it seems to me that that's a bad precedent to set because it becomes normalized over time. And then their friends tell their other friends, and then it becomes more and more prevalent. Nobody's judging anybody in society anymore. And so what
Really?
kind of society are we going to have in the future?
I just think it depends on your upbringing. I think if you were raised with certain moral standards and integrity, it doesn't matter what you see on TV or what some influencer's doing, jumping around, you know, on the screen. You would stick to your guns.
The nuclear family's been nuked. We don't have that anymore. We have some. There's not a lot of that. Traditional marriages and traditional values, it's gone. So now these girls are
Becoming
seeking.
more rare.
Now they're looking to influencers and other people, and they're saying, well, I can have an OnlyFans account because she does, and she does, and she does, and she does, and they're not being judged by it.
Well, I think that's because they don't know what the repercussions are, the long-term damage that comes from that.
Yeah, and
you
why
know?
not?
They're thinking about instant gratification because, you know, that's a little bit of human nature. You want to have it now.
But why aren't we teaching them that? Where isn't the morals coming from? I mean, you have women that are bragging about sleeping with 1,000 guys in a day.
Yeah, it's
right?
gross. I
But
don't.
then you get copycats, and then it becomes normalized because everyone's talking about it. And then, you know, to a
But who
woman,
are those copycats? I don't see this.
oh, they're there.
I don't see this because I think maybe those people make the news, but I think the
On
majority of
social
people,
media. You know,
Right.
then you have ones that are second tier. They're saying, "Oh, I'm going to sleep with 30 guys this week," and
Yeah, it's really gross.
How is that good for society?
It's not good for society, but I don't think that that's the norm. So I think
it's becoming normalized, and you have sites that are encouraging this, and it just leads to degradation of society. No, I'm more traditional, but I'm very open as to whatever you want to do, you can do. I just don't like the long-term trend, and I don't like the way this is headed.
Well, I think this is why we need to tell young girls, to not do that and to just think about what the long-term effects are.
Who's the we? Because the press certainly isn't supporting that.
You and me.
Oh, you and I, for sure.
That's
right. And that's, I hope, why we're doing this, is to bring people back to sanity, because what you're being told out there, and we'll do this in a future episode, what you're being told out there is bullshit. It's going to ruin your life, and you're not going to be happier.
Yeah, and what influencers are doing out there,
the ultra feminists and what they're talking about, and this whole movement around do what you want, we're not going to judge you, whatever makes you happy, that type of thing.
Yeah, and the whole OnlyFans thing. I mean, that will ruin your life, because it's
there forever.
To stay on the internet forever, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, people are going to judge you and then forget about getting married. I mean.
Well, let me change it real quick. Is
who's going to marry somebody that's shown everything and done everything?
Porn stars. So now your repertoire of potential daters and suitors are porn stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So life ruined, unless that's what you want to date and end up
life. You want to ruin life? Don't do it. And there's many reasons why. You can make a ton of money doing it if. And by the way, only 1% of the people on OnlyFans make real money. The rest have just ruined their lives for nothing. So
exactly.
Just a stat that you guys should be well aware of.
100%. Same as, all these people that are in the entertainment business, only a small percentage ever end up making it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even then.
And making it in OnlyFans, what does that really mean?
Only 1% of those celebrities make real money.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
I know. I've dated actresses. They don't make much money unless they've hit the big time. Not even a second tier.
Even the big time. I mean, I've dated some very well-known.
Like who?
Movie stars and Oscar winning, and if they don't work consistently because of the lifestyle they've become accustomed to,
and they didn't invest,
struggling. Yeah.
Right. Let me change the subject real quickly. I just want your perspective. I always like to look at the flip side. What are the benefits for people that are in this sugar daddy relationship, do you think? I mean, why is a sugar daddy paying all this money? Is it because he can't get a girl? What do you think?
No, I think the benefits on both sides. I mean, obviously for the guy, I think, it's to have a younger, beautiful girl in his
But can he
arms.
do that anyway? Why does he have to pay for it?
Because I don't think that he probably wants to be in a serious relationship. So I think relationships require so much more work. You have to be. You have to be emotionally invested in a person. And I think a sugar daddy relationship, they don't want to have the whole depth of a relationship and to work on it. They just want to have the superficiality, which is sex, have fun, and she, has the lifestyle. That's
so
the exchange.
Are these emotionally stunted men, or are they just like they've been through it?
I think it
and
depends. I think it depends on where the person is at. I think, if somebody's been married for 30 years and they just want to have fun right now, then I guess maybe they could try that, or maybe they can't get the girl and they have to do it that way. I think there's
I think most of it is that they can't get the girl they want, and so they have to pay for it.
Yeah, could be, definitely.
Because they couldn't do it on their own, I would think. Or I think part of it is also they don't want the relationship, the emotional side of things. They don't want the pain in the ass of going through a relationship. They just like their free time, and every once in a while they like to have a younger girl on their arm.
Right, 100%.
So the flip side, what do you think of the girl? What's the girl's perspective in this?
Well, I mean, the girl, she gets the lifestyle money. She doesn't have any worries. She can set up her life.
But isn't there an emotional...
put money aside.
And they're okay with just sleeping with some guy that she's not attracted to just because of that.
I would hope that they're at least a little bit attracted to them, but if not, I mean, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have to have a few drinks too.
Right. So, but usually it's
obviously
10,
the benefit
minutes.
is financial.
Yeah.
What else is it? But there's always the risk that the girl could start falling for him and vice versa. So it's important to just stay realistic with that, that she's not there because she loves you and because you just super stud. It's because she wants the lifestyle, and vice versa. You know, she has to know that this is probably mostly a sexual relationship and that he's not going to respect her and take her seriously for a long-term relationship.
Yeah. So in your experience, who has feelings first? Is it the man, the woman, or is it basically even?
You know, I think it's so funny because men always claim, oh, women, you know, they get so emotionally involved when they have sex. I don't agree with that.
Isn't that biology though? Isn't that proven?
But on both ends, oxytocin is not just for women, it's also for men, you know, the cuddle hormone when you cuddle after sex. But I think you're right. Predominantly, men can have sex and walk away and not feel anything and be just like, oh, whatever, you know. But I think there's many women that do the same thing. So, i.e. sugar daddy relationships. I mean, they are very calculating.
Yeah, probably more so than men.
And, well, I mean, like I said, they're sugar mamas too, so.
Yeah. We should explore that.
Really
anyway.
Yeah, that's another story,
Let's wrap
right?
this up. All right, so
That's another episode.
I like doing takeaways.
Okay.
So,
Mark, what's your takeaway?
all right, so my takeaway is, look, if you're the sugar daddy and you're paying for it, recognize it is a form of prostitution with a subscription. And I get it. I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but recognize for what it is. And if you're a female, and I always think of my daughter, I think there are way better ways to make money long term. If you're just, giving up your body for short-term gain, guess what? That's what you're going to keep going back to over time. And that's not a way to build wealth. It's not a way to feel good about yourself. It's not a way to build self-confidence. But investing in skills, investing in your career is a way better option. I promise you can make more money if you're as dedicated to that as you are as to working with these sugar daddies.
I love that. That's beautiful. And I 100% wholeheartedly agree with that. And I will be a little more neutral about this. So my takeaway is that if you're going to have a sugar daddy or a sugar mama relationship, just go into it knowing what you're getting into. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the other person. Don't mislead each other. And whatever it is you're looking for as far as your relationship style, come to perfect12.com.